Lutz, and I'm here with my co-host,
Tank?
and we're here on the front lines in the battle against the deep state, the cabal, the Illuminonkeys, and all those that wish to enslave all of humanity for their own selfish reasons. How's it going, Tank?
Oh my goodness. Well, things are very, very exciting and really fascinating right now, to be quite honest.
Yeah, there's a lot going on. It's a heavy drops yesterday. Flynn going free, releasing 53 transcripts that Adam Schiff had tucked away in the sub-dungeon, hidden away so no one would know that there was no evidence that he kept alluding to for the last, couple of years, saying, oh, there's evidence. I've seen the evidence. No evidence. All these 53 people said there's no evidence. There's nothing.
This is my dream that I see, that I would love to see happen with Adam Schiff. I would like them to go in to arrest him, and I would like him to resist arrest. And I don't want him to resist the arrest the way like a man would. I want him to do it the way a cartoon would. And I just want images of him like running, like from like rooms, and like you just kind of see him scooting off, and it's a sitcom. So like we just kind of keep the show going.
Yeah, like the Roadrunner like circle of legs going around like so fast, right? It's just like and off he goes.
Yeah, exactly right. Yeah, like almost like the Three Stooges and like in a chase, in a car chase or something. Like that's what I want to see happen with Adam Schiff. I even like kind of want to see him run by, but not even him, just a bobblehead version of him. Just kind of like, did we all see that? And just that would be my dream come true. I would love that. And then eventually they get him, and they don't just arrest him they really throw him down the hood of the car. And they speak in like a real old timey voice, like they were just waiting to take him down. Like, all right, Mr. Schiff, you're coming with me. It would just be a dream. I just want it to go down just like that.
Well, I could imagine, afterwards, and he's convicted, that we've brought back, torture, and we put him on the rack, and we stretch him, and then his neck just keeps getting longer and longer and longer as we stretch him.
Yeah, I would.
Then he's like a giraffe.
Yeah, I feel like that could happen. Yeah, and I feel like it's making it more terrifying.
Well, I went with the comical route here.
Yeah. It's like being tortured in the world of Roger Rabbit, where tunes are real.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah. I left it a little bit, out there on purpose.
I will say that, so yesterday, when it's supposed to be this big alignment, I think it was the Syrian alignment, and then I think Shailene told me it was like Orion, maybe it's Syrian and Orion, I'm not sure. But Kim referenced it as well, and she told me actually in the morning when she, it's been a long time since she was like kind of gave me a safety precaution, right? She doesn't really do that much. And she's like, it's supposed to be a big Syrian alignment, Syrian alignment, and a big ritual night. So be safe, right? So I was like, oh wow, that's interesting. I wonder why. And then this is when I asked her about it, and she basically said that there was that we were. I asked her if anything happened, right? Because this is basically the Orion prophecy, right? The great solar flare that's going to melt the earth, and everything's going to be tragic, and Marduk's going to raise from the dead, and
again,
all going to. Well, that's what they thought, right? So yesterday was supposed to be the big thing. Well, what happened? Nothing. Right? So I asked her about it. She said no. The world's probably a few versions lighter and a few buffalo later, but that's it, right? So they basically did their rituals, their sacrifices, and nothing happened, right? And their God will not raise from the dead. And the big thing that Kim said to me today was, yesterday, the final battle started. And she said that it will be over on the 17th.
17?
Yeah, that's what she said.
Yeah, cute. So yesterday, all this happened, right? We got Flynn released. The battle has started, right? So Flynn's released. The general is out to command the digital army. Okay, you've got 53 transcripts of people saying there was no Russian collusion, all of the top people. Clapper, Brennan, Comey, Susan Rice, Yates, all of them. 53 of them saying, top people, no evidence of Russian collusion. That, you know, so they're screwed, right? They're completely screwed at this point, and now is the offense, you know. And so it sounds about right. Him saying this is the beginning.
Well, yeah, I mean, I think, you know, Kim is very much an expert and adheres to the Sun Tzu art of war, right?
Yeah.
So, in Sun Tzu says you never go to war with an enemy that you don't already know that you have beaten.
Right.
So, Kim's been taking out their systems, taking out their leaders, taking out their resources, taking out their weapons. Stop. And doing all these things, and now it's kind of like it would appear to me that the next level of the, you know, kind of finishing them off is at hand.
That would make sense. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I have a lot of really consistent witnesses to that in our world that I can't actually discuss. Now, I'm not big on keeping secrets, but in this case, I think it's going to be, you know, at least for the next, 8 days or so, 9 days, there's going to be some stuff that I'm going to have to keep a little close to the vest, because we've got a lot of, like, things going on.
That's true.
That are really a big deal.
Yeah.
And here in New York, they announced that Bill Gates and Cuomo basically is trying to turn over the educational system to Bill Gates and Google, right? So basically, he's announced at this point that he was trying to turn all of us into automaton droids. He has announced the arrival of the Borg here in New York. So that's a little scary.
Yeah.
And then,
it's a little bit out there.
But you know what? That's okay. We got something for Cuomo. All right. Fortunately, Lawful America did some great groundwork, and it's going to be great support for the New York Assembly to really, and not just for the New York Assembly, but for the whole world, because so much revolves around things that were started in New York,
Yep.
And so I'm excited about that, and I'm very happy that that Michelle Walker took over and really took over this letter that we were sending out with Lawful America, which she did back in December, and she wrote this really heavy-handed letter, right, that she put out there, and I was like, and I remember thinking, like, this is just too much, Michelle. It's too much, right? But now, in this moment, I'm so glad she did, right? So glad.
So
Great foresight, because
what is the letter?
this is the letter when we issued to the Department of Health.
Okay.
That basically said they were guilty of genocide, treason, hoaxes, and hazing, right?
Got it. Hey, keep talking. Keep talking. I got to do something.
Yeah. Okay. So now, all those things were put out there in this letter, and they were put on notice to come under constitutional compliance. Well, that was well more than 40 days ago. So essentially, they've been notified of their wrongdoing. So now we have the basis to issue a immediate cease and desist letter, because their failure to respond has essentially put them in a situation where they've admitted it's true. They're in default. So that's a huge win, And but then what they did was, unfortunately, Michelle's communication is down right now. Well, she can communicate, but it's limited. So she's a little uncomfortable, and but we're going to get that done in We have things working in many different directions. But thank goodness that is what was already done, right? Because we can show proof. We gave you notice. This is what was instructed of you to do. To provide a rebuttal to what we're claiming, and they didn't. So that being said, it's pretty exciting times. Kind of, we're well equipped for the next stage of this fight.
Yes. Well, yeah, so many good things moving forward all at the same time, and I would like also. I just to think about this. So the synchronicity of it all. So everything moves forward as of yesterday, right? So where we go. So yesterday my website got finished, so I can do auctions for the gold grain coins, and been pushing to get it done. It should have been done weeks ago. I was getting like I was. How do I get this last little things done? So it's moving forward, so I'm scheduling the first auction. Yeah, so a good synchronicity there. The abundance is here. I'm still also doing research on the post office system, and I got this really, I think, killer idea. So I'm very excited about it, and I hope it works in well with, using the banks as using the post office as a bank, or the banks as post offices, or something along those lines.
Well, I think next 9 days is going to be a lot of fun.
Oh yeah.
I think the more we create collectively together.
Yeah.
And the next 9 days might be terrifying. Well, to be honest. So,
they're going to be throwing everything at us at this point, no doubt. I mean, and it's nothing more dangerous than a trapped wild animal. And they are the wild animals in this scenario, right? They're.
I'd be worried if they didn't take all the testosterone and drain it out of the men, so that their greatest warriors are all sissified, and then all of them, they were never really part of a real fight, and they basically lack any kind of imagination. So when I take the lack of things and I stack it up against the girth of talent, skills, ability, intuition, motivation, heart, and the intangible qualities of the people, I'll take that every day of the week. So I'll take those odds.
Sure. Yeah. we're on the winning side of the bet here. So the house wins.
Yeah, we've had to kind of battle through hell to get there. So it's
I think that was the plan.
Yeah, right.
The adversity, the sifting of the chaff from the wheat, and the chaff happens to be the cabal.
Yeah. Yeah. So so I'm thrilled about General Flynn. It's great.
Yeah.
I'm just so encouraged by that, because it feels like one of the first times you actually see justice, right? A good man going free.
Yeah,
that's very encouraging.
And it's like the first of many. It from the signs from everyone in the alternative media, it's the word coming through. Besides the crunching noises coming from Tank.
Sorry.
It was getting progressively louder, so it was kind of.
Right.
Oh, so but the word from the alternative media though is that these kind of information drops are going to come at a faster pace now, right? It's like a nonstop onslaught of information. So it's going to be a lot to keep up on it, to know where everything is. So I think one of the things we should focus on is really trying to summarize, right, and give the perspective. I watched Dan Bongino yesterday with what he said, or it might have been today, the latest one, where he summarized everything with Flynn on what happened. Why did they have to take him out, right? What was his why was he such a danger, and also how it was Obama at the center of it. And so the one that's responsible, and the one that they can't say that he was not involved is Obama. And he's pretty much has admitted it. Pretty, if you put it in a time frame and the things that he said and when they knew things and when they didn't.
Obama, you're saying, Obama's basically admitted it. He's basically set himself up. He's perjured himself or whatever. I mean, he's basically put it out there. Yeah.
Yeah. So there's, they're not going to be able to walk it back anymore, because there's going to be so much coming out on a daily basis that they can't. Their method of brainwashing is repetition. If there's new things coming every day, how much can they repeat it, right? They can't repeat it because it'll be on to the next one, and then on to the next one, and then on to the next one. And so, and their
That's
audience,
a great point. Yeah, you're right.
Their audience has shrunk, right? People are not listening to them. They don't, if you're tuning into them, it's really out of habit, and you're really getting more disgusted with when they're speaking. Right? It's like the interview I brought this up that Barr had with CBS yesterday. He laid it right in, but she was so focused and so upset, and she said that she pretty much said that now he's a target. Barr is a target of them. They pretty much said there's
of the news.
The news is going to be coming after Barr.
Wow.
She pretty much admitted to it. The way I could probably find it and bring it up again. But it just goes to show that they are so far out of it, right? That they can't accept that they are not the ones that are in control of what we think, because that's their job.
Right.
Right. So that they won't know how to exist, and they can't exist in this world. That's the reality. This reality can't support them. They will fade out of existence, and then they are nothing. So
that's a really fascinating point, and you're absolutely right. If you were to, that is the best argument I've ever heard for why they would have all these sealed indictments, right? If you were building the case on thousands of indictments, and you were building up this mountain of evidence, and you just waited to drown them with it, right? Because they can fight little pieces, one at a time.
Yeah.
By just repeating something that's the opposite over and over and over again. But you're right. I mean, that is their method, right? To wear you down with repetition. So, that's a great point.
So,
great point.
If you see that how their plan unfolded, the cabal plan to enslave the world, it was to get to the point of the virus, getting everyone to be vaccinated, so everyone is now cautious, everyone's wearing masks, everyone is keeping distance, separating us from each other, divide and conquer, right? So it's they've shot their wad, it's done, right? They have nothing left, right? And now is the onslaught. Now begins their complete removal from the planet, from the people's minds. It's good. We're gonna be going through it, right? All this is gonna be brought up. It's gonna be pounding and pounding, and I think they're gonna indict Obama. I think they've got everything on him, and they're going to indict him, and everything will flow downward from there. I don't think that they're going to go take out these 6, Clapper, Comey, Brennan, you know, and then go back and get Obama and Hillary and Bill later. I think they're going to start with Obama and work backwards through the presidents. Work backwards.
Yeah, I think you have to take out the American royalty, the hierarchy of the order that's there. So yeah, I agree with that too.
I watched
go ahead.
I watched another video yesterday. It was kind of interesting compilation of different things. Part of it, they were going over like the dumbs, the attack on the dumbs and the correlation. And the guy said, and the last major stronghold for human trafficking for children is under the Fiji water plant in Fiji. I said
the Fijian water plant?
Yeah, Fiji water. The
wow.
Fiji water?
Yeah.
Remember Trump highlighting Fiji water, right? And even taking a drink of it with 2 hands in such an obvious, clumsily way of taking a sip of this Fiji water.
Right.
Is he not drawing attention to the Fiji water?
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And
that's very interesting.
And so that was all hyped up. I wonder if we go back and look at the dates of when he did that, if there's a delta in there, a Q proof. Because I think, anyway, this was one of the things. I sent this to Tui. I told him to look at 25 minutes in. But it covered a lot of different things in this video, but it was a good compilation of what's going on. But that's kind of interesting, is that he said, as to where all these battles are and where, there was this back and forth going, and these was our side would take over a place and the cabal would, fight and take it back over, and there's some back and forth like that. But they're going tunnel by tunnel, they're blowing doors, they're going in rescuing, children, and so, this is all an amazing, event, right? That this is all happening. Now, the only plausible thing that I've heard so far is that it's not time to show this to the people yet, but the kids are already being rescued, and it'll be shown at a later time when they say this is what's happened, like when the war is over, like after we've beaten them, that this all comes out and is shown. And this is why we have to basically route them out around the world. We will have a completely different world, a completely different reality. I mean, it's a harsh thing that we have to go through, but it is part of this. Q showed the day the Earth stood still with Keanu Reeves, right? And they talked about that they're going to let the world be demolished. Right, they're going to remove all the people because the people are bad people bad. But it was John Cleese playing a part in there where he's saying that they are. It's only when we're faced with doom, faced with the horror of the apocalypse, do we change, just as they did. The ones that are taking out humanity. And we are at that brink, right? But we didn't realize that we're on an assembly line. We didn't realize that we're being used as batteries, as food, as entertainment. Because it was all hidden, right? It was all shown as a fiction on movies. It was all shown to us, around the edges of things. We hear a news report about this bad thing happened or that, but you never hear it repeat. You don't hear what came of it, right? Child abduction happened and people are doing this and doing that. They don't know what happened, right? Because it all gets swept under the rug because the system is infested.
reported if something horrible was discovered, and then nothing.
Yeah, because it gets managed by the cabal, by the shadow. They subdue it, right? They corral the information. I mean, one of the main things that I was really noticed how well it was corralled is when I used to take like weekly trips up and down California from the south to the north, 12-hour trips, and while I'm going through the farmlands of the Center Valley, right, I pick up on these small little radio stations, these little 5 kilowatt stations that are around the town. And they would hear about the farmers in revolt, right? Clamoring at the city hall, saying, we got to, get more water, right? What's going on? Why are you guys stopping us from having water? Our farms are drying up. We can't pay our bills. Our crops are dying. These orchards are dying, which take 30 years to regrow and rebuild if you had good water supply. So, they're in revolt. But when I get into the cities, in the big cities along the way, there's nothing. Nothing. No word leaks into the big city where the mass population is. So, that's why they want to bring everyone in and put them into the city so they could control the people better.
That's absolutely true. Yeah. And this method they're using right now here in the U.S. is very common, right? It's what they did in Ethiopia when they salted the plains and made Ethiopia it went from the agricultural capital of Africa to the icon for starvation, right? And it wasn't by natural means, it was because they salted the plains, right? Yeah. And then I forget, I don't know if it's Syria or where the cashew trees were. Mm-hmm. And a cashew tree has to grow for 20 years just to produce fruit. And they gave them an offer they couldn't refuse, bought all their cashew trees and wiped them out. And then now, if you see what's happening here in the U.S., now we get this firsthand, but there's some ranchers out there talking about it, different farmers, how, they're pouring out milk and they're getting orders from the government to euthanize healthy cattle, the fat cattle, that's what they would put out, right, for actual meat. And meanwhile, they're bringing in meat from, I want to say, Nairobi, something like that. It's like, why would we be bringing meat in from Africa when we have enough meat here? When we have enough fruits and vegetables here?
Yeah.
Why are we talking about a famine? Because that's the next stage of the four horsemen. That is something Thomas talked about. He talked about the four horsemen of the apocalypse, right? Mm-hmm. Now, one of them is war, and one of them is, coming in on a pale horse, one on a white horse, and a red horse, and a black horse. And all these different characters in the way that they would yield these symbolism of death, right? Yeah. And war and wiping out humanity.
Yep.
So, but all it takes is for a few ranchers to say, no, I'm not going to do that. Who the hell wrote that order? Who in the government said? How did that sneak by? That they said, hey, wipe out, euthanize your cattle, and ignore that order, Texas. Now I'll tell you something. The Texas Assembly is meeting tomorrow, and I will tell you what. You want to mark my words on this. The assemblies are going to be the most important thing going on here in a minute, because that assembly tomorrow they're meeting, and I guess like the ranchers are coming in and the oil workers are coming in. That's a big assembly, yep. And they are. You can guarantee they're going to be like, you know what? You can go to hell. We got guns too, right? And I'll tell you what, that's happening here in New York too. Which is not, you don't see that as much, in New York, but you have a surging body that's ready to go here in New York.
Wow, it's so fantastic that this is just all coming out right now. This is the time to move. This is the time to stand. Make the stand, take your steps, start marching, and everything changes. Everybody do it. Everybody could get up right now and get out of their house, right? And then go out and see who else is going to be listening in, right? And say, hey, they said get out of the house. They said go and do something. right? And so everyone gets out and they start talking with each other on your block. You know, you get, you know, hold a potluck, right?
Yeah, you know, I'll tell you, Dan. Today I went to a protest. You know, there was a protest here at City Hall in New York, and it was very low turnout. It was very miserable weather and rainy and stuff, right? To me, there was about 10 people there, right? And there was about 30 cops there. 30 cops were there, right? And it was just a few, you know, people holding signs. You know, one guy who had COVID and was over. He's like, I'm immune. I don't have to wear a mask. He's like, I'm not contagious and I'm immune, right? And it was very simple stuff, right? And they sent over. Now this was very fast. They sent over this little guy who wasn't in a uniform, and he was. And I found out later he's a lieutenant with the legal department for the NYPD. So, I mean, you guys can go check this out. I broadcast it live today. But I was asking him questions. I said, why do you think you can, what are they doing that's, you know, that you can give them a citation for? Like, what does the Constitution say? And then I brought up 16 jurisprudence, 177, section 2, right? You cannot make a law or enforce a law at any time that violates our constitutional rights, the fundamental rights that are actually generated from the people that people are born with. No man gave these rights to these people, and no man can take them away, right? And he was like, jurisprudence. He goes, what citation is that? I'm like, and then when I found out he's part of the legal department, I'm like, no wonder we're struggling with asinine behavior. But I was talking to the cops, you know, because I'm pro police officer, you know, I was talking to guys. I mean, because these are people, right? Yeah. But you know that we were there, and there was no ruckus, there was no issue. You're hanging out. They didn't want people close enough to connect with their energy. You know what? You know, and I'm like I didn't have a mask on, and I had my press pass on, and I had no plan to put a mask on at all. Mm-hmm. Right? And I'll tell you what, and I was waiting to see, like, what are you guys going to do? Because the whole time I kept going live on YouTube, right? And you know, there was one mother there. They brought in at least 24 or so cops. They brought out this loudspeaker, right, to try to annoy us to death, right? Because that's the big plan, right? When all else fails, bore them to death or annoy them, right? And they just started repeating the same thing, like, by order, this is an unlawful gathering. By order of the governor and the mayor of New York City. I'm like, are you kidding? What right does the mayor or the governor have to take my constitutional rights? They can go to hell, right? Yeah. So I sat there. So they surrounded all these cops. I mean, it was a huge number of cops, and you can see it right there on YouTube, right? And so I was right there filming it. I stood there, and this one mother with a sign. They pulled up and they arrested her. It was like 10 or 15 guys. And you hear me on the tape. I'm like, that is what the NYPD has become. Like, this is what you guys are doing. You're arresting this woman standing here by herself. There wasn't anyone around her, right? So it's business. I'm like, is it shift change? Is that why? None of you can go home until the shift change? You know, it was so obnoxious. I'm like, the NYPD, which is famous worldwide, these guys came in and just, you know, had to make a scene. And I said to them, I'm like, you are people. I'm like, you should stand with the people. And at one point, I actually applauded them. I'm like, thank goodness the NYPD showed up, or there wouldn't be anybody else there to protest, right? So thank goodness there were so many of them there, because they actually gave the protest, you know,
give them all signs.
I know. I felt like, I'm like, you guys should be now, and they were nice guys for the most part, to be honest. You know, they were just being forced to do this. Right, yeah. But this one little guy, the young lady there, I'm not gonna say her name, but who's with the assembly, she is a pit bull, man. She did an amazing job. She was like, when she found out that little guy, he went and he called all these cops in. The one little guy who wasn't in uniform. After I embarrassed him again, because he is embarrassed. Because I asked him outright on the tape. I said, "Didn't you swear an oath to the Constitution?" He said, "Absolutely." I said, well, in the Constitution, it says there is no state of emergency that can violate the fundamental rights of the people. He goes, no, it doesn't. I said, yes, it does. Right? But it was so interesting. I go, you swore an oath to it. Shouldn't you know that? And that's what I'm saying. And then there was another cop who came out today, who he went this whole thing about these Gestapo-like tactics, and he said these police officers should know that they are creating a war environment where the people will no longer take it and they will rise up. And he said, and you do not want that. You are not ready for combat. Do not take these orders. No one has the right to take those constitutional rights of the people. And I was like, good for that police officer to do that, right? Good for him to stand up and say the right thing, because that's their job. They're people making decisions about other people, and we pay them paychecks, really, right? It's taken from our taxes.
Yeah.
So shouldn't it be that the people decide, hey, you got to protect us? Not if the governor and the mayor are acting like there's some kind of aristocracy, then they should be removed, because there is no such thing here. The sovereignty is held to the people.
Yeah. Well, I think that's one of the things that most of the people that are put out there as police, to be the ones that follow orders, they're the ones that have to really, say, no, we're not going to do this, and do it in mass. And yeah, a few of them might say no. You lose, maybe a couple of you lose your job, right? But at the end of this, these are the first people we're going to want to support, right? Those are the people that are supporting, those are the police that are supporting the people, not, following orders, So I want to.
I think at the end of the day, it's like if you have a new boss, right? Or you know that the company's being taken over by somebody.
Right. Hello. Oh, you got muted. We may have got a call coming in. I was just going to say, I want to also remind everyone that I did this video, this interview, and I'm going to share it with Tank, and I'm going to show it to you. And sorry, I just got a message popping up there. So this is the video. I want everyone to please go there. It's in the description of this video down below. There's the channel on BitChute, which is wwg1wga.love, right? And then this video right here is the interview with ELLE'STER. So it's basically about really ITNJ, the pedophilia, the rotten David STEELE, and his trying to mitigate damages for the cabal and their practices of pedophilia. So please go there. We only have 58 views, right? I only have 41 subscribers, and we have 1,000 people at least that view each video that we put up. So we should have 1,000 people come over here. So we're going to just hold on and wait for you to go over there and subscribe and watch this video. Please get it started, and then come on back, and we'll be waiting here for you while we're waiting for Tank.
By the way, Dan, I got to tell you, I went over to BitChute, right?
Yes.
And I got to say, everything you said is true. It is so refreshing. I couldn't believe how much great stuff was there.
Yeah.
On BitChute that is being censored on YouTube. YouTube is a train. It is a dumpster fire compared to BitChute. BitChute is the place to go.
Yeah,
it's so much better. I was so impressed. I was like, oh my gosh, nothing is censored, right? Like just real stuff is everywhere. It's amazing. So we're gonna build up. We're gonna build up our content.
Yes. So come on over here. Make sure you like it, right? Of course, it's going to start playing, but I'll scroll through a couple of this. This is the interview with Ella. I'll put in a few. This is some of the starting point here.
David STEELE has something to do with it. I have no proof of that, but it just seems to be, calling for this guy to be arrested, in showing of who he is, what he is doing in this was all that I cared about, right? I didn't want to have to,
So
not prosecuting these people, not removing them out of society, even though we know that the same groups are involved in genocide programs and mind control programs. And what is even more interesting is that he openly attacks free speech. You know, every journalist that is critical on either Robert David Steele or the ITNJ is severely attacked, is threatened to be sued, and he's in a lawsuit right now against Jason Goodman and 2 other defendants.
So, just to give you an idea of everything that's over here, right, and we really go through a lot of the material. We have a full presentation on who these people are and how they set up ITNJ. So you know what their involvement is, what the symbolism is, how they are so tied into the satanic worship, the pedophilia, the other things. You know, all of it is all covered. So it's 2 hours. I encourage everyone to go there and start looking. And if I just go over to the homepage for BitChute, you'll see, this is the stuff that is, here's Pervert Pete. I don't know what that is. Dr. Steve Turley, Oliver Jennings. So these are just, top ones. These are my subscribe channels I already have over here. Is Candace Owens, X22, In Pursuit of Truth. Proud Boy stuff is over here. More Candace Owens. So here's Popular. Yeah, so just to just show you, the stuff is all here that you would see on YouTube.
Now, who runs BitChute that it's not censored?
I really don't know who's behind it, right? I know I've seen it come up, right, and but it's never that it was like it came from some mentioned on the news channel. Hey, don't go there. As Alternative Media Center, and it's all coming from alternative media. People say this is where I'm going. Now there's also Drop Space, right? There's a couple out there, right? The one that's what's the other one that's started from Alex Jones's Brighteon, right? There's Brighteon, and I think I'm always suspicious of anything that comes from Alex Jones, right? I used to be a big fan of Alex Jones, really. I like those, but there's always something. The very end when he went up back against QAnon, that's when I kind of said, okay, something's wrong here. And Rotten David Still also was always on with Alex Jones.
Was he really?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, big time.
I never got really into Alex Jones. I mean, just a couple times I heard him go off on things,
Yeah.
But one time I really thought he was going to have a heart attack. And I thought, man, that's not healthy. That's not healthy.
Yeah.
It wasn't even easy to listen to, even though he was saying it.
Yeah. So anyway, please come over to BitChute and subscribe. Right? We really need to have the people over here so we can build over here. So we can start being over here. We cannot do live. That is a bit of a problem, right? So we're going to have to do live, but from like a Zoom meeting, right? So everyone can come in and participate. They can chat, in Zoom as well. Everything is in Zoom, and then we can take it and upload it here to BitChute afterwards. This is very viable, but we need to get everyone to move over and start. So please, take some time. Please go there and subscribe right now. We're just going to wait here for you.
Take your time.
Take your time. Yeah. No, we'll keep talking here. So, but you get the point, right? We really they have just lost it, right? The cabal has lost it. We're on the offense. censorship is going to be turned up, right? It is the control systems that they have left to, they need to sequester this information. So we're already, dialed back. I can tell, yeah, we have our people that look for us every day. They don't have to wait
Right.
for the subscribers. They know during the day they're going to go and find us every day. We've got 1,500 people, 2,000 people that do that. It's the ones that don't. They're subscribed, but they don't get notifications. They're even unsubscribed, right? They don't know, right? And they're in their daily busy life. They love, to watch, and they remember, like, every once in a while, oh, I should go check and see what's going on there. Right? And they come back and they find out. And so it's hard to keep the people engaged that way when we're put in this bubble, right? Because all the tools are turned against us, not for us. We're not promoted, we're demoted. So let's come over to BitChute. Let's start building this. We will stop doing live here. At a certain point, right? Because they're going to turn us off anyway.
You can always go to Twitch, gamer website, or a gamer program platform.
Yeah. Well, I hear what you're saying, but they are in control of a lot of these gamer sites, right?
Oh yeah, of course. I mean, that's CIA training program, sure.
Yeah, and it's the way they communicate, right? Look, they're taking down Star Wars game, right? Really? It ends?
Right.
So they can wipe out all of the messaging that's there. So who decided that? We're going to just stop the 3D environment of Star Wars we set up with all these people that are participating. It's just not popular anymore. No one wants to. Insanity, right? Obviously they're shutting it down because they think they're going to wipe out all the conversations, right? So they can say, oh well, we deleted that. You don't have any evidence on us. You can't take us to court. Well, yeah, no, we have all the evidence. Here it is. All right. Oh, you deleted it all? Oh, well, sorry, but we have backups. Here it is. No, that's not true. Well, where's your backups? Oh, we don't have any. Or you do you. So anyway, they're in a lose-lose situation, right? But they're going to get crazy. So we have to be prepared. Please go to BitChute. The link for finding the channel is like right at the bottom of this video. Right, just the first line, right? And that link for the video that I posted there is there. Let's see how many we have by tomorrow. So 42 subscribers and 50 views. So let's see if we can bump that up. Yeah, I think that's, where's In Pursuit of Truth? Right here. 3 hours ago. Let's pause that. He has 20,000 subscribers. So if he's got 20,000 subscribers, we can have 20,000 subscribers here.
All right.
Right?
I believe you.
Right?
Hey, I'm going in right now to subscribe to As We Speak.
Good. All right. Enough sharing there. I guess we're good for the day. We're just approaching an hour, and lots of good things happening. Keep it in your mind and in your heart that we are winning this, but don't be surprised at how rough it gets. Be sure you have supplies of food, because their next thing is famine. They're going to try to make famine happen. How much, how well they are at getting this accomplished means that we will have shortages, right? Now, maybe they're minor. Maybe it's only, we're out of milk for 3 days. How do you deal with that, right? Don't resort to the creamer in your coffee. Don't do it. That stuff's deadly.
Well, I'm very, very confident that we are on the right side and everything is coming together. And be prepared for anything, but don't be afraid of anything. So that being said, Dan, appreciate you as always. Let's have a great next 9 days leading up to the final as we endure through the final battle. Okay.
Yep.
Now
Well, 9 days.
tomorrow, man.
9 days, huh? We've got 9 days to go. So.
Right, like the 6-day war in Israel. 9 days.
That's it. All right. That's wonderful. All right. We'll see you next time.
Man.
Go to BitChute, subscribe, share, subscribe and share, and then share and subscribe, and give a like. See you tomorrow.